to let the Lakers pry themselves into that top 8?
Well, I'd say Houston, simply because Houston has 19 road games left. And that's a lot. I think that Houston has the toughest time, the toughest schedule coming up in the second half of the season.
All right, we begin the second quarter with the Los Angeles Lakers. Kobe Bryant, Samaki Walker back in there after getting his ankle retaped. Brian Shaw is in there with Robert Horry and Devin George. The Knicks with Sprewell, Charlie Ward, Witherspoon, Goliath, and Shandon Anderson. And Kobe Bryant, a sky pilot who gives the Los Angeles Lakers their biggest lead tonight of 7. Bryant has 6 as we start the second quarter. And one way to start.
Well, it is the way to start it, but it's also a defensive lapse on the part of New York. Shaquille O'Neal is not in the ball game. You can really focus on who now. You look at Kobe first to everybody. You don't let him get an easy alley-oop like that.
Kobe Bryant, Danny, I know you're going to like this stat. The foul was called on Bryant. That's his second. That's Sprewell at the line for the first New York Knicks free throws tonight. Over the last 4 games, averaging over 30 points in those 4 games. 28 FGAs a game. I know you like that number.
Well, you got to love that number. And Kobe's getting it done right there. You know, I like the strategy, too. Don Chaney coming out, running isolations against Kobe. He picks up his second foul. I got a feeling they're going to keep going at Kobe. Whoever Kobe is defending, they're going to try to put him in an isolation situation, put some pressure on him defensively.
Well, and I think that definitely is correct. You got to both stop Shaq and Kobe with your offense more than with your defense. With Shaq in transition and Kobe, as you said, posted up and trying to get him into foul trouble.
Bryant came sailing in that time once again. Another New York Knicks foul. I guess there comes that time when you go, how do we stop him? Goliath picks up his first foul. And here's Kobe at the free throw line, 83%, which is his career average. And this is first trip tonight. Lakers 3 of 4 from the stripe. Knicks are 1 of 2. Kobe's got 7, Shaq's got 11. They lead the Lakers. 6 for Houston, leading the New York Knicks.
Well, you talked about New York going to the free throw line for the first time. They're last in the league to get to the free throw line. That's why they have to get some three-point shots and outside shooting, because that's the strength of their game. And getting to the free throw line is not good.
Oh, another rejection. This time turned in by Horry as the Lakers are playing tennis with New York Knicks shots tonight.
Well, and I think that's probably encouraging to Phil a lot, because this year they're 17th in field goal percentage defense. Last year they were number 1 in field goal percentage defense. So in order for them to make a push, they definitely have to be very aggressive defensively without making stupid fouls.
Kurt Thomas back in. And Goliath back on the bench. Here comes Bryant. Great fake, a deceptive move. He tried to laser it inside. Shandon Anderson the other way. Kobe Bryant, who's got 2 fouls, was not going to challenge him there.
No, he didn't want to pick up a third, and that's why. Because Anderson's a good free throw shooter anyway, and he was behind him, which would give him 1 and the ball. But Shandon Anderson's great in the open court, always has been.
Lakers have won 4 straight coming into tonight. Kobe Bryant pulls off another spectacular shot. 9 points, 4 of 6 from the field. Shandon Anderson driving down the baseline. Devin George with the rebound.
And Kobe was very smart on that play. He just let him go rather than pick up a foolish foul out in the corner.
Samaki Walker.
What's a big difference now with Samaki Walker being in the coach and Shaquille O'Neal? That's about 3 successive plays where they tried to go into him and lost possession of the basketball, because Shaq presents such a bigger target and is probably far more effective at catching the ball.
Lakers have 6 turnovers already.
Well, you know, throwing the ball to Samaki Walker, the only reason I think they throw it down there to him in the post is just to get the defense to think that it might be Shaq, so someone else will get open. Samaki has not. I'm surprised, Coach, that he has not developed a low post game. He gets so many easy one-on-one opportunities. Coming out of college, he has great potential in that, but that's one part of his game that has not evolved as I thought it would by this time of his career.
How you going to develop a low post game when they tell you get on the opposite side and get out the way of Shaq?
Well, because he gets a lot of one-on-one opportunities. Plus, he's had an opportunity to play with other teams in this league, with Dallas and San Antonio, and he's had a lot of touches, but he hasn't proven that he's got a low post game down there.
Nice fake by Devin George. He gives the Lakers their biggest lead of 9. Knicks have led by a point early in the game. Charlie Ward. Shannon Anderson against Bryant. Nice knock away by 36-year-old Brian Shaw.
Well, the Lakers, right now, the Lakers are just batting shots back because the Knicks are standing in the shell of the perimeter and just trying to go one-on-one, and the help is in place on the weak side.
Anderson, another break line, another rejection by Orr, but this time they catch him. Robert Horry has picked up his first foul tonight. He looked like all ball.
That looked like some other chicken from here, but I tell you what, Kobe's been snake bit twice on those outside shots. I know that he doesn't miss a ball 3 feet left of a basket.
Timeout. Shannon Anderson.
We don't agree to disagree.
Kobe Bryant on the bench. They got young rookie Kareem Rush out of the University of Missouri in the game. He gives him good speed, but Danny is very young.
He's very young. He's learning how to play, but this kid is an all-around player. He rebounds, he defends well, he can make the outside shot, stretch the defense, he can beat you off the dribble. He's going to develop into a nice player.
Shaq is back in. The Lakers are hitting 52% of their shots. Orr with the rebound and the 2 to follow.
Well, and that's very important because Robert Horry is one of those players that has to step up, along with Fox, along with Fisher, for this team to get at the level of performance that they're capable of doing. And if the Knicks go over the help on Shaq like that, they've got to return and come back and box out from the weak side.
Knicks are shooting 38% from the field. Here comes Shaw, slashing inside.
That is just awful defense. The last 2 possessions, but you know, you can excuse the first one. Shaq demanded so much attention to boxing out that always slips in there and gets an easy one. But just a 4-lane highway went down there. That right Brian Shaw drove down. He's old as I am.
You're 36?
No, I guess not.
Grandpa, 3-point shot by Allen Houston. He's a 40% 3-point shooter.
Yeah, that's not the guy you want to leave open. You know, Isley and Houston are great shooters from the outside, year in and year out. As Sprewell gets hot on occasion like he did the other night, but they do not want to give him easy 3-point opportunities.
Evan George again from outside. Weatherspoon with the rebound.
And the Knicks have to get up and down the floor. You want to make Shaq move as much as you can, involve him in pick and roll, let him move his feet.
2 in a row by Allen Houston.
And 2 defensive breakdowns by Devin George. He can't cheat over the top of a double screen. He knows better than that.
Well, at least he didn't own up to that one. The last one he pointed at himself and said, my bad. That one he tried to disappear in the hole in the floor.
Yeah, because he can't keep saying bad, or Phil Jackson will say, hey, my bad, and get him on the bench.
Said enough, they believe you.
4-on-2. Kurt Thomas steamrolls the rookie Rush, who picks up the foul. Rebounding so far tonight, tied at 18.
Well, we'll see how much attention there again. The 2 forwards, or the center and the forward right there, they're having their attention on Shaq, and Robert Horry slips in, and he's fighting against the little people in there for the rebound.
Offensive rebounding story.
Those little guards, though, I mean, yeah, they're littler than Horry, but they got to get tougher in there. They got to push and hold and scrap and fight down there when they're undersized on the boards.
They have to get from underneath the basket before they get slapped by somebody under there. That's what they have to do.
Kurt Thomas had a career year last year. Guys, he's having a career year again this season.
A lot of people in New York think that he deserves to be on the All-Star team, and I can't disagree. He's done everything as much as Brad Miller and Ilgauskas, and he does a lot of dirty work. He's a leader on defense. He communicates better with it than everybody else on the defense, and he's the heart and soul of this New York team.
Knicks on a 6-0 run. Shaq has to work his way inside of a foul. Lakers have led by as many as 12. Knicks have led by as many as 1. Craig City, what do you have?
Well, I talked to Kurt Thomas before the game about his assignment with Shaquille O'Neal. He said he's matched up with him a couple of times in the past when he was with Dallas and other times with the Knicks. He said the best job he ever did on him was a year ago. He scored 20 points at one end to put pressure on Shaq. He said, but unfortunately at the other end, Shaq had 40. He said the only way he has any chance whatsoever against Shaq is if he can lean on him and keep pushing him out. But the problem with Shaq is that he's improved so much with a jump hook and his ability to shoot over the top that there's no way that he personally can even come close to defending him one-on-one.
Shaq now 4 of 6 from the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, you know, you just got to hope that Shaq's going to settle for some shots, not be really angry at you. Don't do anything to get him too mad.
Shandon Anderson.
Push you off for the bubble game.
Almost with his 6th rebound.
What you have to do with Shaq, though, is when you're on offense, you got to get him moving as much as possible if he's a guard.
Shaq again inside. He's got a game-high 14 points.
And that's where he's always the most difficult. You know, catching the ball in the block is not the difficult part of defending Shaq. It's when they move the ball from side to side in the triangle offense and they get Shaq from high to low. That's where he's unguardable.
Allen Houston. Wide open Weatherspoon.
See, that's the problem because Shaq is guarding Weatherspoon. He doesn't want to come out there. That's the thing that you have to do. Weatherspoon has to get up and down the floor. He has to be involved in pick and rolls. He has to be involved in all things that will create motion for Shaq and cause him to use his feet.
Finish with the rebound. Shaq tonight has gone 5 of 8 for Weatherspoon. Off the way, off the Lakers. Nope, off New York. Their 7th turnover.
And it's a better job of double teaming Shaq this time. This time when they go from high to low, you see how much room he has. The double team can't even get there.
Slam dunk, all a part of All-Star Weekend. Stoudemire, Richardson, Jefferson, Mason. Danny, who's your money on?
Ooh, that's a good group right there. But I tell you what, I'm going with Stoudemire. I usually don't like to pick guys the first time in the competition, but that guy has not one timid bone in his body. He will come out intense, and I like Stoudemire.
You don't like big guys.
I love big guys that can play.
I'll take Richardson. I'll take Richardson.
I just don't like big guys that are just big. I like big guys that are good.
That's the same way I feel like little guys just little.
But all the little guys are skilled anyway.
Here's Bryant, who has 11 behind the back and almost in. Almost pulled off the circus shot inside. Wow, that would have been a ball.
Kobe went in and won his obligatory one-time slam dunk champion and decided to let the youngsters do it. Save his knee, especially with that tendonitis in his knee.
I'll tell you, one of the things you notice about the Lakers, Danny, is that they're starting to get that swagger back again. I noticed early in the season they didn't look as confident. They didn't have that little swagger about them. But the guys are now starting to play with a lot more confidence now.
And I think that they get their confidence so much from Shaq and Kobe, the other players on the team. And they're all starting to play. Like we said, I mean, Devin George is finally starting to play good basketball in the last 3 or 4 games. Fox and Fisher are starting to play. You know, Horry's always played the kind of game that he plays. But, you know, Shaq, when he's dominating inside and playing that dominant style, and Kobe's doing it, I mean, it's easy for those other guys. And those shots become more open all the time.
Shaq has 14 and Kobe Bryant's got 12. 11 for Houston. Rebound by Robert Horry. He's come off the bench and collected 7 rebounds. Charlie Ward got the way. And Tom Washington for him. Tom Washington got the way. Charlie Ward.
That's a great defensive play by Tom Washington.
That's why he should have done it.
I don't think that he was that good a defensive player when he played ball right there. That was good D. Transition defense.
Joliet back in with Houston, Othello, Harrington, Sprewell, and Moore for the New York Knicks. Fisher back in, Bryant, Horry, Shaq, and Devin George. Shaquille O'Neal. Good fake on Joliet, who bit, and Shaq hooks it home. He's got a game-high 16.
Well, you give him space and let it turn into the middle without the help coming. And I understand that Cheney wanted him to go to the middle because he thought that was the side that the help would come from. But if you don't give help, you're at his mercy.
Devin George is not using his head. He's an athletic guy. He's big, strong, and he's quick. But Allen Houston is fortunate with the brain right now. Beating him off the screens, getting him in the air. Not smart basketball by Devin George.
Just picked up his first foul.
Sometimes it's not good to use your head. Use somebody else's.
and you have instinct. There's a lot of players that are so instinctive players, such instinctive, but the bottom line is, Devin George doesn't have a lot of experience to rely on, and a player like Houston has been defended by everybody and played against every kind of different defense.
Knicks are 3 of 7. Now 3 of 8 from the free throw line. The Lakers are 6 of 10. Shooting from the strike tonight. Not many threes either.
I think I get a point for that. I think I said extinction.
Yeah, that is a point. Good, thank you. Bryant flies inside on the New York foul. Sprewell picks up his first.
You talk about the role players on the Lakers team. Whenever Shaquille O'Neal is not playing well, more focus goes on those role players. Role players aren't the people who you want to focus on, but when Shaq is going extremely well and Kobe is going extremely well, these guys are able to fall into place and just play their little bit parts.
Lakers shoot 55% from the field. Shaq shoved again. And that time, it goes on Joliet, and he's got 2.
Well, when you see Shaq, he demands so much attention down in the paint. That's what makes it so much easier. Here's the double team, easy pass. And when guys get easy baskets like that, the game is so much easier. Robert Horry, now when he steps outside, he's going to make the outside shots a little bit easier. And Shaq, when he is aggressive, and same with Kobe, they demand so much attention to be stopped that those shots are a step more open. They don't have to rush them. And it's just, so what if you shoot him? Shaq's even going to get the rebounds back.
Well, and your point about George and being inexperienced and not being able to play off of people, I think that applies to Walker too. That when Horry is in the game with Shaquille O'Neal, he makes the opponent pay for the help with his experience, whereas Walker has a tendency to float around out there and not make them pay for going after Shaq.
But why is that? I mean, why do those guys have been around a long time now? They've been 4 years and 5 years in the league, and is it something that you just know, and some players have a knack at it?
Well, I think it's a combination of both, but I also feel that it's a question of being in that role enough and being used a lot in that role.
Sprewell rejected by Shaq inside.
Great play by Shaq right there, but there again, Devin George gets beat. Thank goodness you got the big fella there.
4 Laker blocks tonight. Harrington surprised he had room to shoot.
There's that high school point.
And he can make that little shot right there. Fella's very accurate in making that shot.
Hey, the guy averaged 25 a game in high school. You took the ball out of his hand.
I cut a lot of 30-point scorers, too, who couldn't play defense, wouldn't rebound, and wouldn't get back.
Robert Horry over Harrington. Rebound by Ward.
Just like all these guys on the court right now, average 25 points a game in college.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Harrington with the miss. John, could you have coached Danny when in college, Georgetown?
I would have loved to have taken my turn at him. Child abuse. I would have been very abusive with it. I like Danny, though, as a player. He ran his mouth all the time, but he did hustle.
Laker timeout.
I would have got a 25 FGAs, too.
I don't think so.
Well, trying to find a way to guard Shaquille O'Neal is nothing new for Herb Williams, assistant coach of the Knicks. Back when he was a player with the Knicks, he and Patrick Ewing used to double team Shaq in his early years with Orlando. I talked to Herb tonight. He said he told Patrick at one point, listen, if he ever learns to shoot over the top, you can close it down because he's going to own the league. He is very complimentary. He said people talked about Shaq, said in the summer he did too much. He said every year he has improved. He's one of the smartest players in the league. He always plays to his strength. He's always in the paint. He throws out to the double team. He doesn't force shots. He doesn't take bad shots. And he says right now, he is totally unstoppable. He says he remembered when Patrick and he used to gang up against him. He is nowhere the player that he is now.
I think the interesting thing about that is, Coach, you've seen all the big guys play. I still think Shaq is the most dominant of all of them because he's so physical and he's so unguardable. Just for that reason alone. He's not as good a shot blocker or passer as some, but he cannot be guarded more than any player that's ever played, I think.
Well, you have to give him his due, but, you know, I don't like to say ever because I haven't seen them all, but I would say during his era, he's as dominant as any I've seen. The thing I like about him is that he loves to get in and play the position that he was built to play. You see so many 7-foot guys now that go outside, they don't have any post moves, they can't defend anybody or can't block a shot. He does what he's supposed to do first, and I respect him for that.
Lakers' big lead has been 13. Harrington inside and over O'Neal. Derek Fisher the other way.
I tell you, Danny, as the game moves on, you're absolutely correct. Shaq warms up and gets looser. You know, in the beginning, I thought he was having far more trouble than I think he's having now in moving.
Shaq's got 13. Out of bounds off of the New York Knicks. Lakers are shooting 51%. The Knicks are shooting 41%.
That's what I got a kick out of with that Yao Ming matchup with him. You know, Yao Ming, in the first 5 minutes of the game, Yao Ming had his way with Shaq. Did a good job of blocking a shot in the game. Shaq destroyed him from that. Yao Ming was so tired the rest of the game.
Great looking three by Derek Fisher. And he has only gone 4 of his last 12. Above the three-point arc over the last 5 games. It gives the Lakers their biggest lead tonight. 1 for 3. And he can definitely knock it in from downtown.
You know what? They got so many good three-point shooters on the Knicks. There's one sad thing. They did not have Antonio McDyess in the lineup because he would create a lot more double teams, open three-point shots for the strength of the team, and be that low-post offensive presence that this team needs so much.
2-on-1. Ward. Kobe Bryant. Fouled by Charlie Ward.
That was a Kobe Bryant kind of shot he put on Kobe Bryant.
Great feed. Bryant to Shaq. Well, they work so well together.
What about that sweet little shot by Charlie Ward though right there? The scrambling quarterback. He looked like Grant Duncan driving down the lane.
There's the trophy winner. Shaq has 19. Kobe's got 13. Allen Houston, the only player in double figures with 11. Springwell pops it a 3 from outside. He's got 8. 3 of 7 from the field.
How can New York trade Springwell? You know, there's a lot of talk about that. I don't understand that. That guy is a very good player. If they trade him, it would only be for money, but they better get someone really good in return. And if I was a team out there and knew that the Knicks might want to trade him, man, I'd sure be trying to get him.
Bring back. Oh, Kobe Bryant! For human life! What a play!
Oh, my goodness.
Talk about a rim rattler.
Harrington at the other end.
That was sweet.
That's as good as it gets, folks.
Well, that insult to injury, he didn't even smile after he did it. It's like he was mad at someone.
Wow. Ori for 3. Uncovered, knocks it in. The Lakers have gone 3 of 4 shooting threes. The New York Knicks 4 of 8.
I'm telling you right now, they're getting their swagger back.
And did you see how wide open Robert Ory was?
That's pretty well again.
You know what? That guy's never lost his swagger either. That's one thing I love about Latrell Sprewell. He plays with the swagger.
Hold on for Shaq and buckle up inside. Has O'Neal on the bench to go to ball.
A whole lot of people better hope these guys don't make the playoffs. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, I can tell you right now, they're in the playoffs.
Oh, my goodness.
We've done a lot of games in this building, but the buzz in this building right now is amazing. 3-on-2 Fisher. Under 10 seconds to play. No fouls to give either one. Kobe for 3. Yes! Kobe Bryant has an assist.
I would say that's a little bit of a swagger to finish the half.
18 points for Bryant. 14 in the second quarter. But Shaq's 21 will take the Lakers to the locker room.
Oh, Craig Sager's over there with Kobe. I wanted to see the replay. Get a monitor over there.
Wow.
This is just a lay-in drill right here. They're getting an open court, putting so much pressure on Kobe in the backcourt. It's 2-on-1 down at the other end of the court.
And then the big-time 3. And watch this. Wow. The electrifying Kobe Bryant is with our Craig Sager.
Okay, Kobe, we saw it again. Sprewell, one of the great defenders of the league, has you in the corner, almost steals the ball. You take it from there.
Yeah, well, being really aggressive on me, and there's a point to be patient, utilize my footwork, clear some space to go by.
You've been playing so well, player of the month in January, over 34 straight games. Why the difference?
Well, you know, coach wants me to be more aggressive for the benefit of the team. So as a consequence, he's been able to open up the offense for me. I'll be able to create a little bit more, be a little more assertive at certain first points in the game to, you know, to really get us going.
Well, thanks for the highlight reel. See more of you in the second half. Let's get back to Kevin. The Lakers are back. And with the thorn.